everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be talking about my best tips and tricks on how to use an e-file, kind of, explaining a little bit about the drill bits and so on and so forth. This was a requested video, and so I'm sorry that it took me a minute to get it up, but it's up and I hope that it's helpful. So if you're new around here, welcome. My name is Jackie. I'm so glad that you're here. If you like the vibe, please don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified every time I upload a new video, or as often as you like to be reminded about my videos. My videos are here for whenever you guys want to come back and watch them. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, you guys, so to start off with, I'm going to show you guys my e-file. This is the only one I've ever had. I've never actually tried any of the other ones. But I would be excited to do so on this channel. Anyway, you guys, I have the Koopa Mani Pro. This has been discontinued, but you can still find it on websites. I love this e-file. I picked up this e-file because my friend that did my nails had this one, and she had it for so long, and I don't know, I just kind of trusted her, and I turned out to love it a lot, honestly. So as you can see here, you have like your little on and off, and then you have your forward and reverse. This is basically for if you're left-handed, right-handed, that way you can be comfortable with how you're using the file. And then as you can see here, you have your little dial that will change the speeds. So if you have it on and you start moving your speeds faster, it goes pretty fast. I'll put the information up on the screen on how fast it goes. I have to be honest, I don't know anything about like RPMs and stuff like that. But even this, like, it has a bunch of dots around, but it never lines up perfectly to one of the dots. So I don't know, it's kind of weird. So this is my e-file, as I was saying. So as you can see here, this is the part that you would hold and then use as the actual e-file. Something that I do want to say before we continue is that I didn't realize that people didn't know just because you use an e-file doesn't mean that you don't use regular files. You still use files, just so you know that. Hopefully I remember to tell you why in a little while. So I just want you guys to know that this is to help with like the bulkness, or if you want to prep your nails, things like that, but you still will need regular files to do your nails. So now we're gonna move on to drill bits and like what's worth it and all that stuff. So I will say, I feel like the most common thing that you see when you're a beginner is this kit right here. Personally speaking, sorry you guys, mine's all like banged up and stuff. Personally speaking, I never really used this. I feel like the only good thing out of this kit is this little piece. I believe it's called like a Mandrel or something like that. I don't know, I'll put the proper name on the screen. And this is used with the sanding bands. Basically you just take the sanding band and you kind of like press it in, and it's on, it's in. You don't want to wiggle too much because the friction is like the tightness of it is what's keeping the sanding band on here. But that is probably the only good thing that comes in this particular kit, which I will say you can actually buy separately. I got a bunch of them on Amazon. As you can see here, they also have gold if you prefer gold, and they seem to be pretty universal so far. I bought these ones actually from Amazon, and these work great, but I will say this is more like for beginner wise, in my opinion, or to use like for your natural nail, or like right at the end, if you need to go over any acrylic or anything like that, kind of just like a regular file. I feel like that's very much a regular file in an e-file form. So I will show you some of my favorite files. I'll show you like the newer ones so you can see here. I feel like you could get these just about anywhere online. These are extra coarse and extra coarse drill bits. Obviously this is for more advanced, but the style, like the gold or just like the silver metal ones, are my favorite. But if you can see here, let me pull one out. These have a little safety, these have like a little dome here. I hope you can see it. It's like domed. And these ones are considered to be safety drill bits. So when you are using them on your nail, you can't cut your cuticle with them because this little part right here kind of like lays over it. And so these are actually my favorite drill bits. I feel like there's some people that say, oh, I can't really get into the cuticle with it. And let me show you what I mean. I don't even have one of the metal ones. This is a ceramic drill bit, but as you can see, it's like flat up here compared to this one that's domed. So if you're using this one, there is a possibility you could cut yourself if you're, you know, not so experienced with the drill. Personally, I don't like these ones with the flat edge, and that's because you can even like damage your nail and like cut through your nail if you're not too careful. And I like to personally really get in there when I'm trying to go around the cuticle. I just want to have the least lifting possible. Now that's another thing that I feel is actually something that happens. Like sometimes lifting happens, especially if you're going over like 2 weeks with your nails. Like these are well over a month. But yeah, so I just want to show you guys another one of my favorites, and then I'll show you a little bit of how to do the actual e-filing on the nail. So this is probably like, if I would say get a drill bit that you will love, I love this one. This is a fine ceramic drill bit. I picked this one particularly up on Amazon, but you can find them at your local nail supply store, Amazon, like pretty much any website at this point. But what I like about this one is because it's fine, at the end when I'm gonna, you know, finish off maybe like the filing of my nails, I guess you could say, I like to go in with it because it's strong enough to shave off any acrylic, but it almost like smooths everything out, I don't know, just pretty quickly. Honestly, it's just like one of my favorite drill bits. Like these, the metal ones, and this one in particular, this specific ceramic one, are my top favorites. And you also have like these ball drill bits. I like these ones for the cuticle or any dry skin. What I like to do is go around with my cuticle cutter if I have a lot of, you know, dead skin and cuticles, and then I'll go in and use one of these. But if I just have like a little bit of something, I just pop one of these in and then go around. And these also come in like fine and coarse and stuff like that, so you just want to watch out for that. My suggestion would be kind of going in and actually looking at the different drill bits. Like you can see this is a fine drill bit, and then you have this one that's just like a little more coarse. You can see there the difference. The spaces in between are just bigger. So this is gonna leave you more of a smooth, and this is more to like remove. Okay, you guys, so I had actually already recorded this part. Well, I thought I was recording, I wasn't. So we're gonna go back in and I'm just gonna re-explain what I do. So now that you know about my e-file and a couple of the different drill bits, like I mentioned, there is many drill bits out there. Personally, I just say start off with the sanding ones. If you are a beginner, I promise you, if you have an e-file and you have the fine, the coarse, and the medium, those are going to be enough to actually notice a difference of using a regular file and an e-file. So I would go in, use those ones, but before we do, I'm going to kind of show you my steps. Something that I can definitely tell you that, I don't know, I feel like not many people say, and I'm just being real with you guys. I feel like nails is kind of very similar to makeup. You have like the rules and the do's and the don'ts, but sometimes some of those don'ts work for you. And I know that there's a lot of safety into nails, but I guess what I mean more so is the particular steps. Let's say, for example, you don't always need to do everything in that exact order. Most of the steps, yes. But for example, I like to go in and start off with my cuticle, whether I'm doing a full set or a fill. And that's because I feel like sometimes some of the skin grows. Like if you can see on this one, the skin has kind of grown out with the nail. And I don't want to, I'm just a little scared sometimes with the E-file to go in there too many times. So let me show you what I do in the steps that I do them. If you feel comfortable doing it a little differently, filing things a little differently, do that, do what's comfortable for you. But for me, I just have my E-file on the lowest setting. I have it in the forward, and I'm just gonna turn it on. And on here I have the ball file, and if you can see, I can touch myself. It's not hurting me at all. So that's why I love these for the cuticle. I would just go around here. I might be difficult to see, but I'm actually going like on the skin. I am like not touching the nail, and if it touches at all, it's kind of like gliding over. And then once I have my cuticle actually cleaned up, then I can go in here and just kind of go around the area really lightly. I'm not putting pressure or anything like that, just cleaning up any of the skin that's on there. And also I can pretty much prep the nail really close to the cuticle without hurting myself with like a sanding band or anything like that. So that's what I like to do. Once that part is done, I just take this out, and then I would put my fine sanding band on. And again, I'm just gonna push it in here, try to pull it out. It doesn't come out. Same, very low speed, it's on. So what I would do is, number one, have my little finger, my little stand, and I would come around just like that. You're not putting pressure or anything like that. You're just gliding over. And then if I need to, I'm gonna turn my hand a little, turn my file a little bit, and then file down that corner. You just wanna make sure you're getting the full surface of your nail and removing any of the shine. So it would look something like this for me, and then probably just glide a couple times on my natural nail. Once that shine is gone, you don't wanna exaggerate the file. Now, I will say this is something that I don't feel like I've ever seen or heard of in a video. I am a person that I don't need too much filing. Again, too much filing can damage your nail plate, but my sister, for example, I don't know, her body just produces more oils. There is times that I go in there and I like really make sure that there's no shine or anything like that. I'm not saying I apply pressure. I'm not saying that I file her nail like crazy. I just really make sure that the full nail looks like, you know, it has the streaks of the file and that it looks nice and prepped. I'm just like extra careful because her nail is different, and if I don't, it'll cause a lot more lifting, or it will even cause the nails to completely come off, no matter how much I am careful with the cuticle and all of that stuff. It's just something that I noticed. I don't know if that's a thing or not. Maybe somebody else has said it and I just haven't seen it, but I'm just saying sometimes you really have to make sure that everything is nice and filed. If you're having too many issues with lifting or nails coming off and you're like, I'm doing everything right, I'm cleaning the cuticle, it could be that you just need to really make sure that the natural nail is completely filed and that there's no shine. So now let's say that you wanted to remove nails. You would get one of the coarse sanding bands, and for beginners, I would keep it on the lowest setting. If you feel a little brave, turn it up just a little, and you're gonna go around and kind of remove the acrylic in the same way. The only difference is for acrylic, once you have the acrylic on, you don't want to do this on natural nail, you want to put a little pressure into it. You want to, you know, give it a little push, but you want to keep the file moving at all times. If not, you will burn yourself, and you don't want to accidentally like file down to your natural nail or anything like that. So you want to keep it moving. You want to apply some pressure, always having like a little stand here with your finger. And I'm actually pushing. I don't know if you can tell, but I am actually pushing, and that's just how it's easy to remove your nail. Even like this, when I need to get a little closer, I still have my little stand. I just kind of put it sideways a little bit, and I just come in here and file off. And because I am gonna do my nails right now, I'm just gonna do it with like a darker acrylic. I don't need to file all of this off. You guys know that I like to keep a little clear coat on the bottom of my color acrylic. I do only work with color acrylic. But yeah, you just want to go around, make sure that the nail is still nice and even, making sure that it is ready for the next layer of acrylic. So now once I have that done, normally this would be a little more lifted at the edge of the nail, and what I like to do is I like to take my little cuticle ball file again. I like to put it in here, and then lowest setting again, just moved it all the way down, and I like to go around this little area right here on the acrylic. Once you get it filed down close to the natural nail, then you can kind of go in and feather that. But you don't want to go in here to the natural nail. No, you don't want to do that, because you will keep filing your nail and it could mess up your nail, and you could also burn yourself. Like, again, the file is still going. So you want to go around the actual acrylic, bring that little bulk down, and then you can start kind of like feathering, removing any imperfections, any lifting or anything like that. But it's basically almost every file is going to be used in the same way. Around, and then if you need to go back and detail things, you can. You just want to keep the file moving, because it will burn, you can hurt yourself, and stuff like that. So that is how that works. Also, something else that I want to note, just because it didn't record the first time around, if you're doing a fill, you'll probably have gel or some kind of top coat on. To remove that, you want to go around. I have a coarse sanding bit and it's on low, and I'm just gonna go around here, remove any of the gel, any of the shine. I'm just kind of going around, and this is what I mean by you can sometimes do things differently. Like to file your nail to shape, you wouldn't be filing it like this, but you know, do what you need to do when you need to do it, especially when you're doing nails on yourself. I feel like some of those rules get a little bent. So once I have that off, there's no more shine, nothing that's gonna maybe have me slip, then you can go in there and actually file. As you get more comfortable, you can turn up your speed, and then you always want to have, again, a little stand, and you just want to kind of go around, add just a little bit of force, a little bit of pressure, and start removing that acrylic. Once you get more experienced, you can go in with different drill bits. Like this one, I believe it is a coarse drill bit. If you can see, the little teeth are a lot wider in here. This is what I would personally use to remove my acrylic right now. And once you get comfortable, it will go faster. I still take my time, you guys. I'm not really focused on super speed. I'm more so focused on just getting the job done as best as I can to have my nails looking the best that I can. But obviously, if you're trying to have a business, things go a little different for that. But yeah, that's basically the tips that I have for you guys. No matter what drill bit you're using, more than likely most of them will be used in the same way, around the nail and then down. Move things around if you need to move them around. Don't feel like you have to use it only in one way. And lastly, you just want to remember that when you are filing your natural nail, you want to keep it nice and flat to the nail. You don't want to have this lifted or anything like that, whether there's a safety drill bit or not. You just want to make sure that you're going flat against the nail and not raising it up. Also, I do just want to remind you, hand files are still very important. You still want to get in here and have more of that definition when shaping and filing your nails. This can also help you get into any little stubborn areas. It's kind of still very important, you guys. Don't forget about these. And then, yeah, just be confident when working with the e-file. Make sure that you're holding it nice and sturdy. You're giving yourself a little bit of support on the side, and that you're just constantly moving the e-file. And yeah, guys, I hope this was helpful. I hope it wasn't all over the place. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything. And like I mentioned, I feel like I do my steps just a little bit different than other people. And clearly this wasn't step by step, but you know what I mean. And yeah, guys, if there's anything else you want to see from me, let me know down below. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and being supportive. And I will see you guys in my next one. Adios!